So the first one, number 1 on the front page of your worksheet, says draw the structure for SiH4. So you will always be given the formula. It also gives you that there are 4 single bonds, and then it says 0 double and 0 triple. So when you draw your structure, based on the information given, you need 4 single lines. First thing you guys have to determine is the total number of valence. That's the first thing that you are asked for. So to do that, to figure out the total number of valence, you're going to use the group numbers. So the best way to do it, write the symbol of the element and an equal sign. Write the symbol of the second element, H, but I'm going to put H4 because 4 is the subscript, and that is important because you have to remember to multiply the valence by that 4. So I'm going to look and see that silicon, Si, is in group 4A. I just found that right on my periodic table. And since it's in group 4A, I know it's going to have 4 valence electrons. Hydrogen is in group 1A, therefore it's going to have 1 valence electron. Next step is multiply by the subscript. Silicon is just 1. So anything times 1 is itself. You don't have to show that. Hydrogen has a subscript of 4. So I'm going to do 1 times 4 because each hydrogen atom is bringing 1 electron for a total of 4. To get the total number in the whole thing, I add 4 plus 4 to get 8. So where it says total number of valence electrons, it is 8. Your picture, either in lines or dots, must show, absolutely must show 8 valence electrons. The last thing you have to determine is the central atom. So out of silicon or hydrogen, locate them both on the periodic table. If you have to put your hands on them, just go ahead, point to them. You'll see that silicon is right below carbon. So obviously silicon is the central. The hydrogens are going to be what we call the terminal or the ends. After you get all this information, now it's kind of like a puzzle. What's the most logical way to put this thing together? Well, I know immediately that the one in the middle, because I figured out the central, has to be silicon. The way you do that, you just draw silicon in the middle. Then what I do is I look at the information I'm given. I have to connect 4 hydrogen atoms using 4 single lines, because it's a single bond. Remember that nature likes to be even, so the most logical way to do it is to draw single lines with a hydrogen attached at the end. So what I have here is silicon in the middle, 4 single bonds attached to the 4 or attaching the 4 hydrogen atoms. Notice it looks like a cross because that means everything's even, nature likes to be even, and etc. and so forth. Last thing you have to check. Remember, you said you have to have 8 valence electrons in your picture, either as dots or lines. If I count, remember, each line represents 2 valence electrons. So if I count, there are 2, 4, 6, 8. There's already 8. I don't have to add any dots, and you're done.